in the trailer park with her mom. But you get introduced just really quick to all the people who live there, and it was already kind of comical. It's supposed to be, though, but it was like one of every kind of scary, quote, hillbilly, backwoods, murderer type person.
Yeah.
Like, there was a bunch of scary characters living there. But then there was, like, a group of kids running around, and, and then we have the Asian masseuse. She lived there.
Yeah.
So I was like, what is this going to be like? Because this is just nuts already. So I really enjoyed the array of fun and interesting characters.
Right. And this shifted, the movie itself shifted gears quickly.
Yes.
It suddenly revved things up from 0 to 60 just that quick.
Right, yeah, and then something happens to where it's like, okay, we're moving on now, and now we're in the future.
Yeah.
This horrible thing happened back in 1981 at this trailer park, and now we're in the future. So now we've got our 6 troubled high school students and their chaperone coming back from their religious retreat.
Right.
Oh, dear. So luckily there was just, I knew, we're back to talking about the gruesome kills. I just kept thinking, okay, there was only so many people. There was the 6 kids and their chaperone. So I knew we wouldn't have to put up with too many more, kind of gruesome. Like, I was scared, like, oh man, what's going to happen to the next person?
You were expecting just those 5 specific kills in that order?
Well,
or are you?
I knew there was a limit to how much
gore you would have to endure.
Yeah, because there was only so many people.
Okay.
They didn't have a nonstop,
I got you. It's not just a psycho person running through city streets picking people at random or whatever the case. Okay.
Yeah,
you've got your bottleneck, your limited environment that you're dealing with.
It was 6 kids, their chaperone, they're stuck there, they're dealing with this thing. And it was like after the first 2-3 kills of like 4, I was like, okay, well, thank God they're almost all gone. So, but we've hoped or thought one might survive and get out of there.
Maybe or maybe not. Yeah. It becomes who's gonna win, because it does seem to turn into an us versus them type scenario, and sort of. Yeah.
There's some angry, malevolent beings in this trailer park that are don't really seem like people you can talk your way out of anything. Well, what did it say here? Hillbilly zombies.
That's it.
You could talk to them. They weren't like
talk to them all you want.
They weren't brain dead zombies.
No, that's for sure.
But yeah, it was. I thought, like, as far as the acting went, I thought everybody did a really great job.
Everybody was solid throughout, and I kept.
It was a solid film.
It's so weird. What would you give this film if you give it a rating of 1 to 5? What do you give it?
Man, you know what? In its genre, if we can actually say like this is a, one of these B movies.
Call it a straight to video.
Like if we're gonna put it in that category, I'm gonna say this is like the king of B movies. It's like a 5 in the B movie world.
Okay.
Because it looked great, it was acted great. The story, I actually really liked the story.
Okay.
It was simple, but
simple and straightforward. Okay.
There was so much other enhanced goodness going on in there. You didn't need a heavy story with all this stuff to think about.
Right.
You really wanted to enjoy. See, I almost said enjoy the visuals and the sounds and all that. Again. I'm not big
depending on what you're looking for.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's it. It's weird because, again, I want to give it a 5 because I couldn't find the special effects and the practical effects, and it's like I couldn't find anything to really pick apart.
I know.
The acting, I couldn't find anything to pick apart.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
And so it's a 5, but it's still a cautious recommend because this is for a very specific audience.
Yes. because me personally, I'm not in a huge hurry to watch it again.
Right.
I would watch it again though, probably, just because it was so dang funny. And I don't like humor with my horror, but this is where humor belongs though, in this kind of a movie.
Well, it needed that because again, otherwise it would have just been straight torture porn, you know what I mean? Without the black humor in there and stuff, I think you would have had something very different.
Yeah, because those death scenes, it got really not funny all of a sudden.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, eh. So for me personally, I can just say that I liked it. Like, it would probably be a 3 out of 5 or a 2.5 out of 5 for me. For me personally, with my taste, but again, it's like king of the B movies, though. It's
so well done.
It's a stellar 5 in the world of B movies.
Yeah. Very, very odd. I have to agree with everything you said with that. We're so boring that way.
I know.
So yeah, it's weird because I got a feel of like the old Tales from the Crypt vibe from TV.
Okay.
There were other things that I could liken it to, but I had never seen. Never? That's a pretty big statement. I have seldom seen a B movie done that well throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of love put into this, and you can see it and you can feel it.
And that's great when you come across that. Now, we watched it by accident. Again, quote unquote accident.
Accident.
Well, I mean, we didn't know what we were getting.
We just picked the title. You picked the title.
Exactly. I picked it. It sounded promising to me.
You thought it was a movie about 3 rivers, huh?
We never really used the town where I was grown up in. We never named that place, but now that you have...
I didn't say the state. Every state's got a 3 rivers almost.
Anyhow, we'll talk more about that later, I guess, when we get into Freaks and Geekskin. Yeah, so anyhow, it seemed like it would be relatable to material to me, and it was indeed on some levels.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so anyhow, where was I going with that?
The Asian masseuse?
Yeah.
Now, so let's come full circle, though. You started out by talking about whether this was a hard R or a soft R, or you were commenting on, I'm not sure. This was a super hard R, so was there something else you wanted to... Because it had the language, it had the sex, it had the sex a couple times in a couple different ways, which sounds weird. It wasn't just people having sex. There was implication. There was adult conversation.
Yeah, okay, and then there was...
The gore, absolutely. I mean, you can't... That was absolutely rated R gore. So, yeah, you had the gore, you had the language, you had the sex, and...
Okay.
Do you not?
No, I agree. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's definitely not. I don't think it's something you want to watch with the kids.
No, definitely not. There was no specific nudity in it, but that was still...
Just because you didn't see a boob, you're thinking that it didn't have sex in it?
No, it had sex in it.
Okay.
I'm thinking, though, that...
People can,
Yeah, no, I got you. I'm just saying that this is going a really weird direction and not exactly where it was intended. Anyhow, my point was, I don't know what my point was. Yes, this is a hard R. Never mind. Forget I said anything other than that.
Okay. Because we'll always talk about...
Well, because I was going to say it's kids. They're supposed to be kids on a retreat and stuff, and you can't then show kids and stuff, but yet they were in sexual situations. Anyhow, whatever. That's not the point of it.
Maybe they were all 18.
Well,
it said troubled high school students, and they were they kind of did the classic, the most unlikable kids, or the ones that were some of them weren't even. Some of them just had some kind of major problems. They weren't necessarily unlikable.
No, it was just they couldn't relate to or be related to by other people, and therefore they were shunned and labeled as trouble is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised when we won't say, because someone I thought was going to survive maybe didn't. I don't know. We're not going to spoil anything.
Right.
But the ones that were that lasted the longest were the ones that I thought seemed like they had the least amount of problems. The jerky guy always it was there was a little bit of a formulaic.
They fit into the formula with that. So,
but I always kind of appreciate that because while I hated to see everything that happened to those kids, I hated to see it because I don't think any of them really deserved that.
Right.
But if they were all lovely people,
that would have been even worse.
That would really be, that would be really sad. That would be a whole different kind of movie.
Yeah.
But they made sure to get in, one was a drug addict, one was a, chronic shoplifter,
right.
One was a, sex addict, I guess.
Kleptomaniac.
The one boy was just gay, so that was like, what?
Well, that's what I said, too. They hit on all the stereotypes and so on in here, so this isn't for somebody that's going to be overly sensitive and politically correct.
Oh, because they were coming back from a church retreat, and their chaperone was, Pastor Lewis.
Yeah.
And he was very, language, and so he was very straight and narrow.
Yeah.
As long as he could be straight and narrow.
Is that never mind.
So there was, no spoilers. So there was so many colorful characters.
Yes, indeed.
I don't really know what the point was of why we were talking about the kids, but, because they weren't like children. They were, a lot of them were kind of jerks, and they did seem older, so it wasn't,
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Let's move on to Garbage In, Garbage Out.
Let's do that.
All right. Some things to talk about, Garbage In, Garbage Out. We finished the third season of Sherlock finally.
We did.
We sort of had a spoiler because at the beginning of the year we saw The Abominable Bride when it was played on BBC America here.
Well, I got a spoiler on Facebook.
Oh, you did?
Yes. When that event happened, there were pictures online, so I was like, man. Oh, well.
Okay.
That's okay, though.
Anyhow, one of the best shows ever.
Yes.
Just absolutely wonderful. I think we need to own the entire series.
Absolutely, we do.
Yeah. Speaking of Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange.
Yes.
And there's the flipping door.
Someone's at the door. Are you getting it, or am I?
I'll get it.
That's good.
Maybe you can tell another amazing, cute story while I erase it.
Oh, my last story wasn't cute and amazing, because it was my falling down the stairs and almost breaking my ankle story. Which still hurts, by the way. So we have our license plates.
Yes, we do.
Are they out there? Did he hand them to you?
I have them right here in my hand.
Oh.
Well, in my hand now.
I guess you know how to put those on.
Yeah, I know how to work a screwdriver.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
I got out of Three Rivers, remember?
Yes.
Yeah, so speaking of which...
I'm betting a lot of those people in that trailer park could use a screwdriver.
They could. Some of them to the head and some of them in their stomachs.
Yes.
Right? I mean, drink them. Never mind. So where was it? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Let's talk about...
I think we were done talking about the movie.
Yeah, we're definitely done talking about that. No, we were talking about Doctor Strange, getting out to see Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. We were talking about Sherlock.
Well, we were talking about that, and I said, speaking of Benedict Cumberbatch,
yes,
we enjoyed Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Very great movie. Yeah, I think I could go see it again even.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because Benedict Cumberbatch, he's been very popular the last few years since Sherlock.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody knows him now.
Right.
That's what I was thinking, but I'm really surprised to find that a lot of people have never seen him in anything, and they're seeing him in Doctor Strange for the first time.
Oh, well, sad for them.
It is so sad.
They should be listening to this podcast, and they won't know who he was long ago.
Yeah, because he's been in a lot of great movies the last few years. Just
absolutely.
Go on IMDb.com, punch in Benedict Cumberbatch, and you will be amazed at what he's been in.
Okay.
And he's great. He's great in everything. I am a huge fan.
Definitely.
I'm not a fangirl very often of actual actors, but he's great. I love him.
Okay.
I get to be a fan for characters,
Right.
And I don't want to see what they're like in real life.
No, because you're going to be disappointed 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, 1981, that's the key turning point in the